Good morning, traders. So let's have a look at the Aussie. And I just want to get two levels in here that are pretty much standing out for me at this stage. And I'll explain now why. So the first level is this swing low here. Okay, and the reason why it's standing out to me is that the teeth, the green line of the alligator, is pretty much in the same area. Okay, and why that's important is if this weekly bar can stay above the alligator, we then have a potential for a move to the upside. Okay, so normally what happens is when you like flat like this, and then price breaks up above and stays above the teeth, you have a pretty aggressive move to the upside. Okay, so that's the one reason why I'm watching that, and the other one is this range bar. Now let's put my range tool into this. Okay, so this range here, you can see how we broke up above it, and then we came back. We tested the 50% of the range last week, bounced back up, but now we've moved back to the downside. So I'm watching this with interest because if we do break to the downside, it starts bringing these lower targets into play. Okay, because it'll be a failed break to the upside. So typically what happens is it will move to the downside. But at this stage, we have had a break to the upside. So until we break this level, this is still a move to the upside, pretty much targeting this high here. Okay, so I'm going to delete that. Then the other thing about this level is look how many touches on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I'm just going to make this big fat red line for us. And let's make it bigger. Okay, so that is a pretty important level. A break below that is going to bring quite a bit of downside into play. Okay, a test of that level would be interesting before another move to the upside. Okay, so let's get the daily. So the channel did break. Like I said yesterday, yesterday's bar was a break and retest of that channel. This divergence has played out, so it could play out some more. But we are above the zero on the awesome oscillator, which still indicates bullish momentum. Okay, so yes, we are coming back, but this could be seen as a retracement. And the other thing to note here is that we did pretty much close on the 200-day EMA. Now, we do have a daily gap at the bottom here. Okay, so I think I'll see what we want us to look at. So we do have a daily gap, and we're going to pick that up just now. So this gap here is at 320, so 53.20 on cash. There we go. Oh, that doesn't help us. There we go. Excuse me. Okay, so you can see pretty close to this level is a daily gap. Now, a daily gap is 300 points away. Now, I suspect that we are going to tag this gap today, this morning. Okay, so I suspect we're going to keep moving to the downside. We'll tag this gap, and then it's crunch time. So, because this will be a retest of this weekly low, a break below here is going to bring a lot of low levels into play. So I suspect we'll have some buying at this point. Okay, and I'm probably going to be one of those buyers as well. So let's just move down to the hour so we can just run through what, or say, let's just head back to the 4 hour, just have a look what happened yesterday. So Tuesday we hit the 4 hour EMA, bounced up, but you can see how we stayed below the alligator. So the open was below the alligator, which was automatically an opportunity to go short with your stop up here. Okay. And obviously we had a pretty aggressive move down. And you'll notice now, as soon as we broke through, we battled to break through this level here. It took most of the day to get through this level, and then we pushed down towards the close to target these levels. So staying below the alligator, you can see how it does give you an indication that stay with the trend, take the short here, because you have the short-term trend. Now, 1 hour. So there are a couple of things that are brewing at the moment. So the first one is on Bollinger. So this purple line here, the bottom of the Bollinger. At this stage, you can see how this Bollinger Band is pointing down. This one is flat. This is still an indication that there's more downside to come. Okay. However, there are a few warning signs here. So there's a first step outside the Bollinger, and there's the next one. Okay, which you can see how it's angling into the Bollinger from outside to in, and I'm looking for a third push down, which will bring us to this level. We also have diversions playing out here, so you can see how the MACD is moving to the upside while price is moving to the downside. So even though we are still below the alligator and it is a pretty aggressive move to the downside, I suspect probably a little pullback of sorts, consolidate, and then we push to the downside. Okay. So my plan today is probably be using the smaller time frames, like the 6-minute time frame, and trade whatever shorts are available. But that short is going to be a scalp to this area, and this is the area where I want to be long. So I'll be long here, and stops are going to be tight. So pretty much anywhere in this area. Let's just take it from the gap close. So I will use 150 pip stop loss, which should, yeah, because a break below this level is going to get messy. So if I get an hour close below this level, it's going to get very, very messy. But I suspect we're going to bounce from here. And the question is, are we going to bounce properly, or are we just going to consolidate and continue moving to the downside? So play for me today, that's a line in the sand there, and I would expect us to move somewhere up to this area. Okay, now bear in mind this may not even play out, so just delete that. I just want to delete that one, and that's a weekly, so I'll just take that out. And I just want to put these levels in here so you can see why I'm saying it may not play out. So we've got that tail down and this tail up. So this bar's tail up, this tail's down. Okay, so you can see is pretty much a zone here. And we have tagged it. Okay, now the gap is closed on the hour to some people. Other people will want it pretty much to close at this level, and on the 5 minutes as well. So that's why this line that I have here is a 5-minute gap. So this area, price could come challenge this, build a base, and then just turn and move from here quite easily, because on a time frame we have a gap close, and if we go to a 4-hour, okay, you can see we have sort of a gap close from a tail perspective, not to the bodies. So you've got to watch this very carefully, because there is a possibility that it turns at this point. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm looking for. So just to summarize what I'm saying is, let's rather do it this way. So first prize would be a pullback to this area, and second prize is going to be a consolidation right where we are. Okay, so this is kind of the thing that I'm looking for. I'm really hoping we get down to this level, close that gap so it's no longer a magnet, and then start building a base and gradually moving back to the upside. What that'll also do is pretty much build a much bigger channel for us. Okay, so if we come and tag this area here, you can see if I add these lines here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 touches there, quite a few on the top here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches on the 6 touches, 7 touches. So you can see how this angle seems to be the direction that we're moving right now. So the big question now is whether we form a base here and move to the upside. And the other thing that does as well is puts us in a range. Anyway, guys, so that's the Aussie for me. It's long from the bottom there, from that weekly support, and a break below that will see me looking for shorts. Anyway, hope it helps. Catch you later.